Peggy loved scary movies. At the age of 9, she watched a lot of horror movies. Her mother scolded her, but you can't tell a child not to watch something when you're at work all day. So Peggy watched horror movies. She loved them and was not afraid of fake movie villains. When Uncle Sam came to visit, Peggy pestered him to tell her a scary story while her mother set the table. Well, all right, Uncle Sam winked cheerfully. As long as your mother does not hear, I'll tell you one. Just do not be afraid and do not tell your mother. Promise? Sure, Peggy clapped her hands. All right, so I was at my grandfather's house in the country for the summer. And he was a sorcerer. And when I started mischief, he frightened me with Babayka. He said that he came for naughty children. And he would kidnap them and take them to his country. Boring story. Wait a minute. Grandpa also said he'd come to you if someone told you about him. And tell you his name. Now you know about the Babayka. And if you get naughty, he might come to you. What does he look like? No one's seen him. Or rather, whoever has seen him couldn't tell the others anything. It's all a fairy tale. Uncle Sam suddenly got serious. And if I tell you that my friend as a child was taken away by the Babayka? He broke the window, and then suddenly started saying that something comes to him at night and scratches under the bed. On the third night he just disappeared. My parents thought he'd run away, but I knew for sure he'd been dragged off by the Babayka. Peggy snorted. That's nonsense, Uncle. It's all nonsense. And I'll prove it to you. Look. Peggy took the vase Uncle Sam had brought for her mother and smashed it on the floor. Let the Babayka take me now. Of course, all hell broke loose. Shouting, cursing. Peggy was sent to her room as punishment. But she wasn't upset. She was waiting for Babayka. If Uncle Sam's story was true, he must come to her. During the night, a thunderstorm came up. Peggy lay in the dark and gazed fearfully into the darkness, illuminated by flashes of lightning. The story of the Babayka didn't seem so ridiculous now. Now she felt fear, even horror. Because between the peals of thunder, she could hear a light scratching under the bed, as if someone were scratching the linoleum with long, sharp claws. She wanted to run to her mother's room, but she was afraid to get off the bed. She was afraid that as soon as she lowered her foot to the floor, a nasty paw with sharp claws would catch her by the ankle. Another flash of lightning illuminated the room. Before the thunderclap, Peggy distinctly heard a chuckle from under the bed, and then, vase, vase, a husky voice wheezed, and another nasty, disgusting chuckle erupted. Peggy could take no more of this. With a shriek she tore off the bed and rushed out of the room. Already with her mother in the room, they called Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, he's here, Peggy screamed, choking back tears. Who's here? Uncle Sam asked in a sleepy voice. The Babayka you told me about. Peggy, I made it up about him. There is no Babayka. There is. He's in my room right now. Mom took the phone from her. Sam, what are you telling the baby? She can't sleep. If you don't explain. She didn't have time to finish. She did not have time to finish. As the lightning flashed, the door flew open, and something upon her burst into the room. A dwarf-like creature, a mixture of fur and claws and a hideous-looking face with sharp teeth. Hands ending in sharp claws reached for Peggy. The lightning went out, leaving them in darkness. Peggy felt the nasty, cold hands clawing at her and dragging her. But at the last moment, her mother grabbed her and would not let her go while the creature tried to wrench her from her mother's arms. Mother and daughter screamed in unison. Apparently, that's what saved Peggy. The creature let her go, and by the time the lightning struck the room again, it was gone. The next morning they themselves could hardly believe what had happened during the night. That same day they moved to the country house, and Uncle Sam decided to spend the night at their apartment for reassurance. The next day he disappeared. No one saw him again. Thank you for watching and supporting me. Subscribe to the channel, there will be many more interesting things.